This just in from the world of golf. Jon Rahm has withdrawn from this week's U.S. Open at Pinehurst. The 2021 winner dealing with an infection in his left foot. He will be unable to go. This is the first time that Jon Rahm will not play in the U.S. Open since 2015. He's had a lot of success here in recent years, finishing top 12 in each of the past 3 seasons. You can see this tweet, this I don't still know what you call it, from Jon Rahm. After consulting with numerous doctors in my team, I've decided it is best for my long-term health to withdraw from this week's U.S. Open Championship. To say I'm disappointed is a massive understatement. He goes on to thank everybody with the Golf Association, also people at Pinehurst, saying that he hopes to get back into action sooner rather than later. Let's welcome in golf expert here, Doug Bell. Doug, if we want to get technical about it, he says it is between his pinky toe and the toe next to it. It was a cut there. He said it was a little hole, but that has gotten infected. What do we need to know about Jon Rahm, withdrawing from the U.S. Open?
Well, Amanda, he was at his press conference this morning and had not gone out on the golf course yet. He spoke about the injury, the cut in between his little pinky toe and the next toe, as you mentioned. Then apparently went out on the golf course and tried to play, hit balls, tried to walk the course, came back in, and medical staff, people close to him, said it's an infected situation that's only going to get worse. And so now this crazy year for Jon Rahm continues. Remember, a year ago at the U.S. Open at LA Country Club, he was the #1 player in the world, had won 3 times on the PGA Tour, and he was the favorite to win the U.S. Open. Now here we are, a calendar year later. He tied for 45th at the Masters, misses the cut at the PGA Championship, has not won a tournament on the LIV Tour. So he's gone from the top player in the world now to a total question mark, Jon Rahm. And Amanda, I guess we might say, as we look at what he's done so far, 2024 has been a lost year for one of the superstars in golf, 30 years old. And right now, I would say he's in somewhat of a case of limbo. We don't know what's in store. One more major championship to go. Hopefully he'll be there at the Open Championship in July. But again, this is shocking. Jon Rahm will not be involved in the U.S. Open.
It's really interesting because it seems like not that long ago we were seeing these great pictures of Jon Rahm winning at the Masters. And we were talking about the first Spaniard to win and things like that. And he was on kind of a tear, like we were talking about Scottie Scheffler now, and you mentioned it. I mean, him going over to LIV, he withdrew from that last event there. And I just remember his demeanor at the Masters was so different. He's told reporters, I'm in a good place right now. I'm happy. It doesn't seem like that. What do you think we expect from Jon Rahm over the next couple of months?
Well, the thing, Amanda, with these players going over to LIV, we just don't see them very often, and at least I don't watch any of the TV coverage of LIV, and so we really don't know the status of his game. He lives in Arizona and plays a lot of golf with PGA Tour players who live out in that area, and from all reports, he's happy, he's playing good golf, but when it translates to tournament golf, again, he's never played in a situation like LIV where they don't play a regular schedule, a weekly schedule like the PGA Tour. They only play 54 holes. There's this crazy team competition. He owns his own team. So, I mean, he's out of his element. That's obvious right now. And then with this onset of an injury, and I guess we should say, too, and emphasize this, for a golfer, it all starts from the ground up. If your feet and your legs and your hips aren't in good order, then you can't play championship golf. Tiger Woods will be the first to tell you that. So this is a foot injury he needs to take care of. And I think as he talked to his team, they came to the conclusion, listen, if we're going to salvage this year and play well at the Open Championship, we need to be healthy. And I think he took that approach. It's time to withdraw from the U.S. Open. And as you mentioned, the first Spaniard to ever win a U.S. Open. I mean, a 2-time major champion, 30 years young. The future looks awful bright, or at least it did until 2024. Yeah, there's a lot of question marks ahead now for Jon Rahm.
We've seen this with other golfers before. Look, so much love for Jon Rahm, and I'm sure he'll go back to the play that we're used to, and hopefully his foot gets healthier as things roll along. I appreciate it, Doug. Jon Rahm was a 25-1 favorite to win the U.S. Open, but again, withdrawing, you see a big difference that Doug was talking about from 2023 to 2024. Jon Rahm still sitting, though, 8th in the world.